Well, Hans, when we're on, why don't you open up the show?
We are on now. Hi, everyone. This
Hello.
is Art Matters New York.
Hi.
How is everybody doing?
Hans.
Good, good.
Good.
Very. So, we are a little bit, not a big group today, but still. Let's see, Mark,
Good morning.
Good
what are
morning.
we going to do today?
We're going to start off with a quiz. So it's Name That Artist. If you're familiar with this artist that I'm going to show, you're going to recognize the style. Well, I've already given you a clue. She um, is not particularly mainstream, not particularly well known, but
No.
I think that her work is very, very high level. She's represented in many, many museums, and I think she's will become more and more well known. Okay, so let's take a look. Uh,
Not Maureen, is it?
Oh,
Oh, oh,
let me
look
get rid of that thing.
oh,
Uh,
that is
Hmm.
I really, love it. Me too.
Uh,
That's really attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a
she's
minute. I think
the
Mark's
her
us.
name is Kay Sage, that I know.
That's correct. How did you know that?
Because it says it right above her picture.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, you
I'm,
can read. Okay. Okay, I didn't know that
I
was
I'm
didn't see
sorry.
that. Isn't good for
oh, I
you.
could have gotten rid of that too.
That
Darn.
was
I'm
the,
sorry, Mark. I'm
the
sorry.
that was the
Jesus.
fastest quiz we had.
I apologize. But didn't we talk about her before? Because this seems
I
familiar.
don't know.
No, I don't
Maybe.
remember.
I feel like we talked about her or someone like her at some point, but I just happened to see her name up there, and I'm sorry. I
This
missed it.
is
Leslie, you're
this
so
is
honest. You're so honest. I would have let everybody talk and then said it.
Well,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that wasn't nice to do. I
Let's
apologize.
pretend we
Oh, it
don't
was
doesn't
know.
matter.
I
What
love it though. I love her colors and I love the forms. I think it's beautiful.
Me too. What do we know about her? Is she
You know what?
still
I should
today?
have we could Google her and we can see a lot
Okay.
of other images. The
But
reason why the reason why I specifically showed this image is because this is somewhat anomalous.
Oh,
So this is very, very flattened and graphic.
Yeah.
Usually she's really a surrealist in this sort of the mold of Max Ernst and Yves Tanguy, and that group from the, 30s, 20s, and 30s. She was American,
Hmm.
and she, I think she was married to, I'm not sure, I'd have to look, not Ernst, but a major painter as
Hmm.
well from that period. I, was it
I
Ernst?
mean, this could be
I'm not-
read almost a semi abstract because
Right.
you could see a ship,
Yeah,
a ship.
yeah.
exactly.
It's so
Hmm. Hmm.
So
it's
let me
interesting.
just very quickly,
Hmm.
I'm gonna just get some
Huh.
images. Uh,
Mhm.
let's see. And you'll
You know,
see,
no.
Well,
so you'll see,
I see she was born
uh,
in 1898 and she died in 1963.
so let me do this. Whoop. How do I do this? Oh, here, let me do this. And I'm gonna go here.
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
this this is much more typical
Ah, yeah.
Ah,
Ah, yeah.
of her work.
oh, look at this.
These
And,
paint. Let me just.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so most of her work would
Hmm.
more sort of neatly,
mhm.
fall into surrealism.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
And
Oh, boy.
Huh.
here,
Yeah. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
she's, just rigorous, super beautifully painted,
Yeah.
just with incredible
Mm.
rigor and astuteness and great color, as you can see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Spectacular. She could have been an architect.
Yeah, very
But
architectural.
she's
You're
a
right.
Right.
painter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
very
beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful.
I mean, they were just beautiful, very austere, very
Yeah.
cool, but
Yeah.
Oh, wait
gorgeous
a minute.
paint.
Where's Marcia when you need her?
Oh my.
So
wonderful.
I discovered her. They have a bunch of her paintings at the Chicago Art Institute.
Mm.
Mhm.
And I was sort of stopped cold because they were
Wait,
so well
what did she
done.
say? Can you go back to that saying that she had? Go back down?
About her mental health?
I don't know.
Why would we care?
Let's
Oh,
see.
Here?
No, keep going down. Two more, maybe. Oh, here it is. I have said all that I have to say. There's nothing left for me to do but scream.
oh.
Ooh, wow. Well, okay.
Well, I guess
Uh-huh.
they're talking about her mental health. That's too.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why do we care about the mental health of any artists? I mean, we give so many male artists a pass in that area. So why?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe
Oh,
she
you
was
think that's
tormented.
misogynistic, having that?
Sure.
Oh, interesting.
so.
I love
Do
your
you?
thoughts.
Why would
Yeah.
you? I don't see that necessarily. Why? Why do you think that?
Because we give so many male artists a pass regarding their mental health. It's like it's not a high point of focus.
But isn't she?
But it
Is
was
that
with
a quote from
Munch. It
her?
was with
Isn't-
Munch and Soutine. I
Yeah, yeah.
mean, and
Yes, but
Van
it's
Gogh. Van
not,
Gogh.
well, they're male. And Van Gogh had, might have
yeah,
been
but we
Right.
don't talk about it
manic depressive or
with,
schizophrenic or whatever.
it's still not a high priority. I mean, with so many artists.
Okay.
I'm always blown away by the skill and discipline of an artist like this.
Yeah.
Well said.
I guess
This
if
is
to work, that would be the reason. I mean, with Van Gogh, it certainly affected his life.
how
Don't you
gorgeous is
find-
that?
Don't you find her work like well, to me it's super architectural. Like she's creating, well, I guess that's surrealism. They create a whole new world.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's that? That's interesting. That's part of surrealism, I guess. Right? They create a world that's different, that's surreal.
Yeah.
I never really thought of that. I'm sure you guys have, but I never thought of that.
But
How does anyone paint this perfectly? Wow.
What were you
but
saying, Hans?
I'm not so sure, Barbara, about that you can really make that thing.
Yeah.
I think the whole. There are many books and studies about surrealism and health and psychology and you know what I'm saying. I mean, this is full. The art history is full of
But it's not a major,
abilities and why is it and perception of. I mean,
but this
maybe they.
Even Jackson Pollock and
The
his
term,
alcoholism.
yeah.
I think the term mental health is maybe wrong. Do you understand?
Yeah.
As it's described here, because
Yeah.
that means when artists or we are not healthy, you know what I'm saying. I mean
Right.
that's
It's
a
all
little bit
described.
a time thing today. Oh, they are sick. The reality looks different, or you know what I'm saying. But I think it was always something.
Yeah.
Formulated, there is something going on.
Right. Yeah.
different in certain brains, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I have a feeling.
But I agree with you that the term mental health, I think, is
That's maybe the wrong term,
right.
But maybe she was, I don't know her story, but maybe she was tormented. And once, maybe this quote we read, was maybe, she was maybe desperate or whatever, But
Right.
I mean, some people commit suicide, famous photographer,
Yeah, how about Rothko?
and so
Rothko.
on.
There's
I mean,
a lot said about the
there are
mental
many
state of
people
male
which would say,
artists.
oh,
Yes, but it
mental
doesn't
health,
it doesn't lead with that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes,
So maybe
yes.
this website is misleading in that respect.
Yes,
This
probably.
is
Well, we don't know the context.
with her.
Okay, we don't know the context. I mean, I haven't explored that particular website, but maybe that article, maybe that piece was about, very specific. Maybe
Maybe.
about the mental health of the
Right.
artist, or I don't really know. I mean,
Right.
we really haven't
We don't
fleshed
know.
it out.
Yeah.
No, we don't know. So,
And the quote, in a way, just says she said everything, but she never screamed, So that's the only thing she, what I'm saying? You can read it different way, in a way.
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
That she was actually a nice nice person, but you know what I'm saying? She made it right, but the scream is missing, Or maybe she meant, now my paintings are a scream. I don't know, but it does, it's
Yeah.
hard to make an interpretation of that
It
quote,
is, yeah.
really, in a way.
Right. Besides,
But-
perhaps it was the competition with the other surrealists. She was in a minority as a woman
Yes, of course. Yeah,
with that group.
I agree.
That might make anyone scream.
Yeah. You see, yes.
Right.
she was married. She was married to one of them.
Yeah.
You can.
Oh, yeah?
I can't remember which one, but you can
Oh,
Google
maybe
it.
Google it.
I mean, not that that's,
Not
I mean, they were all
somebody-
hanging out together, and there were actually quite a few female surrealists. Leonora Carrington, was another.
Mhm.
There was quite a few. Frida Kahlo.
Oh God, what's her name with the?
What's her name? Yeah,
with the fur cup.
Remedios.
Varos.
Yeah.
Right. And the
Yeah.
fur cups. Who is that? Oh God,
Yeah.
on her
So
name.
there were a number of
Yeah.
women in that group. Yeah.
Yes, but perhaps that was why they went to or centered on Latin America, because of the, perhaps there was a greater acceptance there. That was the large group of female surrealists there in Latin America.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I think of Latins of being a little bit more traditional.
That's true, but if they had,
But in this case, it isn't. So that's interesting.
well, I
Well,
mean, you can't really speak about the whole culture. This, who knows? This could have been a very insulated enclave there.
It was.
Counterculture.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. So that's a good, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, when you look at art today, I have a feeling that surrealism is not in the mind anywhere. It's like
Yeah.
it's weird, or is it a miss? Do I miss something? But how do you think about that? About surrealism and today's art? I don't see influences really. I mean,
No.
it's weird in a way, no?
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know
Or
what you
maybe
mean. What do you mean, Hans? You don't see a lot of surrealistic painting going on, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's just let's say Salvador Dali. Who talks about Salvador Dali?
Yeah.
Just maybe young people, when you are 18 or 16, you think it's
Yeah.
great, and then
He was like,
and then you are bored about it. I mean, it's not everybody talks about Matisse and I don't know what.
well,
Because
Salvador Dali was like, I feel like he was overexposed and commercialized so much.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, I saw a retro of his in Philadelphia, and when you see them in person, It's like, it's like this K person, the skill level is just beyond imagination. And
Oh, yeah.
the skill
Really?
level, the color, the massiveness, like,
Oh, my God.
seeing his things in person was so different for me because you grow up, he's been so commercialized and he has
Yeah.
museums all over the
everybody
place and his
print.
stuff. Yeah, but he was brilliant,
He was, I remember seeing at MoMA, I think no, it was at the Met where they have the modern downstairs where they have like all the modern paintings in that room.
Mm.
Before, when you just walk down the hallway, there's a picture of Christ and he looks, do you remember what I'm talking about?
I
And
think.
he's like, Christ is like this.
Mhm.
And it's like a green painting. Hans, you know what I mean? Which painting I mean?
Yeah, I
And it
think.
looks like Jesus is coming out of that painting. That is such a phenomenal paint. It's so well painted. Exactly what you're saying, Leslie. I didn't know he could paint like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, he
Right.
was a
Right.
master painter.
Master
Okay.
painter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kay Sage's husband, it says, they're a marriage to an Italian prince. She became Princess of San Faustino in 1925 and a member of American royalty. She was also the sister-in-law of Donna Virginia Bourbon Del Monte, wife of industrialist Eduardo Agnelli of the Agnelli family.
Hmm.
I don't know who that is, but
I
Great.
think, who else was she married to
she
later?
was also married to Yves
Yeah,
Tanguy.
Yves Tanguy.
Okay.
Yves
Oh,
Tanguy.
Tanguy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
maybe
makes
I said
sense.
it wrong.
Yeah.
So
Tanguy. Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Yeah,
he was an
that makes sense.
extremely important, surrealist at the time.
Oh, I never heard of him. That's funny.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
focusing on her princessness.
right.
But Mark, I
Amazing,
think
right?
that's really a great quiz question because this
That
is
is a great question.
outstanding.
Yeah.
This piece is
Because
completely.
what?
Yeah, I mean it's even we would know a Kate Sage. You would never think that's
No,
her.
no.
It's
It's an anomaly.
it's really crazy, yeah. But it's a
Yeah,
nice piece.
Gorgeous.
I like the piece very much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good piece. Yeah.
What's the date on?
George,
Do we have a date on
the
this?
date, I think 30s on this one. I'm not sure. I don't
That's okay. That's all right.
yeah, I don't have the date on this one.
Hmm.
Not sure.
It says
Color.
It reminds me a little of some of the explorations that Georgia O'Keeffe
Oh
was
my
also.
God, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I would have guessed Georgia O'Keeffe.
Ah.
But she was also experimenting with abstraction,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
non-objective,
Absolutely. I was just gonna
objective
say that.
painting.
Yep.
But she began obviously as a figurative artist and ended up as a figurative
figurative.
artist.
Yeah.
But she did play with,
Yes, I remember seeing that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would have guessed that.
Okay,
I've been
very
wrong.
good.
Great.
Thank
Very
you,
good.
Mark. That was
Wonderful,
That was
fun.
a good one.
Once again, Leslie's 2 and we're 0.
Ah.
No,
Rest of the
no
class
wonder.
0.
Not
2,
true, not true,
0.
not true.
You go, Leslie. You go, Leslie.
good.
That was a total cheat, and I'm sorry.
We don't care.
So Leslie, do you want to take a look at the artist that you mentioned, whose work
Sure.
you've become familiar with recently?
Yeah, I mean, there's things I like and don't like about it, but when I saw them, when I saw them in person, I just there was I don't know, something about it.
Can you share some work with us?
Yes.
I'm gonna allow you to share here. Hold on.
Mhm.
Okay. You can share.
Okay. Um,
Hans, I think, it's an interesting point you make, but I think the same can be said about, many periods and many artists. And that is what people are interested in today,
Mhm.
and surrealism, which was in a very important period with great painters, has sort of been diminished in some way recently, even though painting has returned to figuration. It's still, it's still something quite different than what surrealists were interested in and exploring, which was, the dream world, psychoanalysis and, everything else,
Yeah.
psychologically speaking, and automatic,
Well, I think that was the era too
experiments.
of the influence of Freud, who
Yeah,
is
it was.
far less influential today.
Oh, interesting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what Hans is
right.
picking up. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we looking at? You're going to guide us, Leslie, here.
Okay, well, I saw Ding's work in, as I said, in Art Basel and Miami, and they were very large, and something about them really attracted me. And I think a lot of it is not necessarily, it's not always with him, the painting as a whole for me, but it's how he got to the painting, and also the textual and patterns, the textual quality and the patterns he uses. So those are things that just really attracted me.
Okay, can we take a look? Why don't we focus on one painting and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
click on one of those,
yeah. I'm gonna
click on, and
do
then let's
that.
look at it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go first to well, let me see. So well, wait, if we're gonna go to one painting, let me go back for a minute. All right, so let's just focus on let me see.
So for me, it's new. I never heard of his name.
Yeah, I mean, I had never either till I saw him, and you can see there's a couple different things going on here, but let's just go to this one, Mirage, which is more like the one I saw in Miami, but not quite.
Yes,
There's
yes.
so he paints, he takes cultural references and fantasizes them and creates, this narrative. They're almost a little too illustrative, but the layering and the combination of textures and colors in a large format was really spectacular. It was really beautiful. Very pleasing. And he's been painting since he's very young and is very successful. Let me see if I can't really enlarge this one, but I guess you could see it.
Are they oil, or do you know the or does it say somewhere the technique?
I believe it's oil, but let me see if it says.
Oil.
Yeah, I believe it's oil. I mean, they're very rich. Yeah, oil on linen. And trying to find what I saw. Yeah, I know it's here.
Oh, look at that.
They're just they're so rich. I think part of it for me is that, I'm very attracted to pattern, and then, the ability to paint these figures this way is very appealing to me. I wish I was able to do that.
There's almost a printmaking quality to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think you can, well, I guess if you had many layers of silkscreen, I don't do silkscreen, but I guess if you had many layers of silkscreen, I think this would be really tough to do silkscreen.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's just so many subtle colors and layers.
It's interesting though, there's so many patterns. I could see why you like it a lot.
Yeah, and
really,
it's funny because one of my favorite artists is Anselm Kiefer, and this is so different, but
Yeah.
but they're both very powerful artists. I could see,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting. It's a little spooky for me. Is anybody else feeling a little spooked out?
I don't know.
A little bit, yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
hon.
Let me show you, so,
It's so, for me, it's so westernized.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I'm
Ah.
saying?
Yeah. He's obviously Asian.
yeah, but I don't see the Asian thing in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't see that.
it's
right.
like mixed up. It's like
But
mixed up.
it's dress. It's it's
Only in the
interesting.
faces.
It's for me. I don't know. You know.
Oh, wow, they
But
are
they are
big.
quite big sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then there's this new painting that is very different from his other paintings.
I like that too.
And I like this as well very
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Kind of was happy to see him do this, you know.
Yeah, look at that.
Ding Shilun.
Oh,
Beautiful.
yeah.
That reminds me of a German, like a Marcus Lupert's painting. It looks like a German expressionist from the,
Mhm.
I mean, neo-expressionist, you know, from the
Mhm.
80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
I
was,
like
I
that.
was,
Yeah, that one's to me more interesting.
yeah. And you know, there's
Hmm.
so
I mean, I like how
patterns.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Mark. It's okay.
I was just saying I like how the meaning is a little more enigmatic, you know, hermetic or something. And, you know, the meaning isn't, you know, the figuration. This to me is more of a, I mean, it's more Western in a strange way because it's more
Yeah.
abstract. It's more
Yeah.
just of an abstraction, even though there's
Yeah.
figurative elements, but it's
Hmm.
more personal in a strange way.
It's more
Interesting.
intimate because it's way more intimate because it's, you know,
Yeah,
large and
Hmm.
I like
I like
the,
that.
and there's pattern here, but now it's like blurred. It's like abstracted. So it's kind of,
Yeah,
that's what makes
Yeah.
it a little more interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Not quite so defined for you, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is one of my favorites actually, which is very different from the one I saw,
Oh.
I
but
think
anyway,
I think this is beautiful, and I think that to me it looks like a tree, and the way that the trunk of the tree is painted kind of reminds me of a little bit of Van Gogh, you know, where it's intense but beautifully painted. And
Hmm.
I think that what I like about this painting is like there are three sections: the trunk, the really interesting brown foliage, whatever that is. But I'm also enjoying the I'm also enjoying the left corner, which is interesting. It's like coming from nowhere, which
Yeah.
I think, I don't know,
well,
I really like that.
he has this little tiny piece of the background, that white that he put
Yeah.
on. And I don't know whether this is painted on black or whether it's black paint.
Oh, with the shading, you mean, or?
Probably no back here, but it's probably black paint. And it just,
I,
I just think it's a beautiful painting.
Yeah,
okay.
there's
Uh,
nice.
can I share the screen as well for a moment?
Sure.
Yeah, you could
Because
go.
I want to show you a friend of mine, Yun-Fei Ji, and you will see what he is doing.
Hmm.
Let me see, and it's probably important in that.
The cons, I hope he's scary. That's all I can say.
It's just better. Uh,
Good.
that's him.
Oh,
He
wow.
shows at the
Oh.
James Cohen Gallery,
Wow, he,
and you will see immediately. Let me see how big can I do this. Things.
Yun-Fei, Yun.
So you see, he's also a Chinese artist living in New York,
Mhm.
and
Ah.
he's very interesting. You know. Let me see.
oh, wow. Young Faye.
Yeah.
And he deals with Chinese culture also. You see, he makes these huge scrolls also.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Love
It's
it.
very, very interesting.
Oh,
And
wow.
very, I mean, sort of in a tradition.
Yeah.
But he deals consciously about it, you know, it's not
Mm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's very, you know, so look at this, a little bit more scary.
Yeah.
That's not that scary. But I unfortunately have to go for another
No, I know, yes.
appointment.
Yeah.
I will see
Only
everybody.
right.
Sorry.
I just, yes. Bye, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Marie. Good to see you.
Let me see. I visited
Marie.
him actually in Rome. Let me see if I. Oh, that's a Pratt Institute. I have it. He was in his studio in. He had the academy of in Rome. You know, in Rome they have the academy.
Yeah. Mhm.
For art. That's him. Yeah, he's interesting.
I could actually see this artist influencing that young.
That's what I would think. I agree with you.
Things
Yeah,
Shilun.
I feel like he
That's
took
what it
took
appears
something like
to me
this and
too.
kind of like,
Let me
made it,
see.
contemporary and less
I came here to
specific.
Yeah.
wrong where am
Huh.
damn it, I don't know.
That's a good point. There does
Okay.
seem like there's a
But
direct link.
you can check it out. You can check him out.
Yeah.
Yun-Fei Ji. I write maybe his name here into the chat room. Well,
Hmm.
Maybe I should show I made a 2-inch painting yesterday very quickly.
Oh, that'd be great. Yun-Fei Ji.
so yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him being an influence on.
I see a little bit in Ding Shilun.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's a bit sweet for me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
something tailored for a white audience. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong, but
I don't think it's right or wrong. I think, the colors.
I have a feeling it's
Yeah.
somehow tailored. It's not.
Ah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. The colors are very sweet too. They're
Yeah,
not.
it's very, very
Yeah.
appealing. You know, it's so
Mm.
appealing for
Yeah.
a certain.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Is there something else you guys want to share?
So I could share something really small and cuckoo.
Okay. Okay.
I like that.
It's pretty much meaningless.
We can make it look bigger. Don't worry.
No, yeah, I think it's
He making
well,
me
yesterday when I was at my studio, I was just making disastrous things and I threw out all the paper I was painting on because they were just, and I always when I've had to step away from the studio and I go back, I always need that 1 or 2 days of doing nothing but making a mess before I get back to focusing.
Sure. Yeah.
But I was on the phone with my son and his girlfriend at one point, and they just bought this little house upstate New York.
Oh.
And I told them I was really happy for them. And my son's girlfriend is an artist, and she was like, take all that happiness and put it in a 2-inch canvas. And I was like, all right, I might as well do that quickly before I go. And I just took what was on the desk and splattered it. So it's not very interesting, but
That's a really nice assignment there.
yeah. So I was like, I need an assignment. I'll just do it. I wonder if I could how I could show it.
Yeah.
I guess I could share screen again. Although it's so little and the picture's so close, you can see the canvas, so it kind of distracts from them.
Nice.
Let's see.
Mm.
Let's see. It's kind of funny.
Ah.
Mhm.
Ah.
It's just kind of wackadoodle. It's like some little,
It's too bad Mary is not here now.
I know, this is like
You could learn a lot here.
right up her alley, right? Yeah,
It's got a lot of energy.
Mhm.
yeah.
You know what would have been nice in this, Leslie, would be a little indication of a fingerprint,
Yeah.
just to give it scale.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Because
I mean,
it's
this
really,
the
Yeah, you would have to, or a pen next to it that you see the
Right.
proportion of the.
it's literally 2 inches by 2 inches. And,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when she said that, I'm thinking, I don't have a 2-inch canvas. And I was looking for some paper. And then I saw this little 2 by 2 inch canvas on my desk, and it has something under it. It had like the black on the left side is something under it. And I was like, I'm just going to throw some paint on top of this and see what happens.
Do you guys do you remember Ewelina Bochenska?
Yeah,
Do you remember her, Ewelina,
of
from the
course.
Art Students League?
Yeah.
Well, I went to, she used to have an open studios periodically,
course.
like after the Art Students League closed down. And I went to one once and I bought a painting from her, and it was 1 inch by 2 inches. And it was a canvas like literally stretched around a little, I guess, piece of plywood or something. So it looked like, it had depth too, but it was only this big. And I love it. I still have it. And it's the best thing she's ever done. You know what I mean? I don't like her work generally. She whatever. She's, has her own thing. But this little painting, it's a little abstract painting, and it's beautiful. And it really holds up. I like looking at it. I never tire of it.
That's
And
great.
I just sort of, put it in one room, and then I'll put it in another room and whatever.
Yeah,
And it's a terrific little piece.
Yeah.
But it's tiny,
Oh,
tiny.
tiny.
I'll take a photo of it for next.
No,
Great.
listen,
Yeah, I'd love to see
I'll
it.
show it to you. Yeah.
You know what else?
Can I share the screen again? Because I show you some work from Bochenska.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have, I have in my archive, as you know. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
You see, that's her work here. You see?
This is Yurchenko.
Bochenska, yeah. At Art Students League. You see that stuff?
Yeah.
Opla. That's she made also some from photograph. Bochenska.
Oh, I like that.
That was in 2010.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Oh, here is another one. Look, that's you, Barbara.
It's me.
Here in
Do
the
you
back.
recognize that painting, Barbara? Is that yours?
Yes. That was my Alice painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That
Look
I
here.
have somewhere. Let me mute that.
Bochenska. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just to show you.
I was trying to find some of my maybe I have
But I like the piece, Leslie, because it's once again when sometimes that the size of the painting has nothing to do with the power and with monumentality or whatever.
Right.
It's just it's a wonderful example. It's so dynamic, and you would, and it's great. Yeah.
Thank you. You
Mm.
know, it's like I love, sometimes when you just surrender, you have these moments of energy, and
Mm, mm,
I had already made a mess of the day and I was like, she said that to me and I'm like, well, I've given up today, but let me just do this, And
mhm,
I have this tendency, like a lot of artists, and we all have done it, to just keep going on something.
mm,
But
mhm,
I was proud of myself because I put the color on and did my thing. And I was like, that's it. That's
mm,
it. Because I was going to play with it more and say, well, I don't love it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, nope, nope, that's the moment.
mhm.
And that's what I was actually trying to find also at one point, my dad painted an awful lot. In the later years, it was with markers. And um, I'm trying to
Mm,
find, I know Marie had some of his paintings.
mm,
They were very weird. The
mhm.
most interesting ones were his portraits, and that's what I'm looking for because I have two here on my desktop of his other types of work.
That
So
was
how would
you.
you just how would you describe him as an artist? Was he just a hobbyist or was he really a serious painter? Did he paint most of his life? How would you
Well,
describe him, his
so my dad
involvement?
went to Parsons, and
Okay,
he went to Parsons, but he didn't. I don't think he finished because he was drafted into the Korean War.
Mhm,
And
right.
um, he came home and he went to his dad's like trucking business in New York. So, and
mm,
then and so he didn't really pursue art during that time. But when I was like 10, we moved to Florida and he was always doing kooky creative stuff, like and making things, and
mhm,
he which I'm pretty sure is, where I got it from, but he later in life he started painting a lot and started painting portraits.
mhm.
And they were weird. Like I actually, you know what? I'm gonna
Do you
go
have?
I have one hanging here. So if you bear with me 1 second.
Yes, that would be great.
One second.
What was his name? Adler, of course.
Uh his name,
Yeah,
um, his name was Morrie, Morrie, and then Courtney, Courtney.
Courtney. Courtney. Okay, Courtney. Morrie Courtney.
So now so when he painted, he used a lot of blacks and his paintings had this very weird quality. His portraits had this like very scary quality to them, very creepy. I didn't like them at first. But as he did more, and I would and I would say, Dad, use a little less black. But his paintings like got better, his portraits got better. And so he went through this long portrait phase. And I was at First Street Gallery and we had a call for a national exhibition, and Donald Kunspit was the curator.
Mhm,
And he chose my dad's portrait to be in the show. And my dad, being elderly or a little elderly at the time, didn't read the email and never sent the piece into the exhibition.
mhm.
But anyway, let's see if you could see this.
I think you have to unblur your
Yes. Yeah.
thing, and then we can see.
Yeah. So there's one actually that looks exactly like Marie's mother. And
Mhm,
I think I might. So let me see if I
mhm. Yeah,
can.
that's nice. Wow.
And he made these
Very
people up,
interesting.
but some of them had qualities in them that looked like people in his life. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
So
That's interesting. Yeah, it's a nice.
yeah, yeah, they are very interesting. And
It has something. I mean, also no, yeah, naive in it a little bit.
I'm
Very
sorry.
primary thing. It's
Yeah.
very.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
an interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
And
indeed.
very
he didn't really study
prime.
art a lot or
Mhm,
learn much, It was
mhm,
all just whatever. And then later in life, he started doing, well, he also loved architecture, and he probably would have made a fabulous architect had he gone in that direction. But I'm going to share two more types of things he did. Now, later in life, when he couldn't control the paintbrush anymore, he started using paint markers, and he did hundreds of these things. Some that did look like, some look like portraits as well. He did a lot of things like this thing.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a lot, like hundreds of these,
Wow.
hundreds of them. Like he just kept
Wow.
doing
And they're
them.
similar with little
Yeah, they're all similar.
pieces,
Yeah,
like these little fragments that are all layered
yeah,
in together.
yeah. But he never
Quirky.
he never considered though like the space as a whole sometimes, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then the other,
Wow.
yeah, then the other thing, I'll share one more with you. I mean, it's not very exciting, but but being that we have this extra time, I figured I would show you. Uh, he also did a bunch of things like this.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. I didn't realize I was muted.
yes.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, he did a bunch
He
of
did
things
this
like
too.
this.
These things are very sophisticated. Did this in the previous one?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he did a bunch of geometrics. He did
I like
dozens.
that a lot.
Yeah, I like this one
Great.
too. Actually,
Yeah.
This is really terrific.
I actually took
Oh.
this one home and that one portrait home, and my mother is acting very weird about his paintings. Like,
Oh,
I wanted to give them out to friends and family and stuff, and she was very weird about it. And she wants to donate them to like a not this type or the portraits, but the ones that are just colorful shapes. She wants to donate like to a children's hospital or something. I don't know. But he's, he's not a well-known guy or anything, you know.
Do you have any others that you can show us like this?
Um,
Or was this?
You know what? I'll have to, I wanted to show you a whole bunch actually, but I think these are the only ones that I have pictures. What
Yeah.
I made gifts for him right before he died. I took these paintings and I made sculptural pieces out of the paintings for like 3D pieces for him because he likes sculpture a lot.
oh.
But by that point, he was really not in good shape. So, so I think he would have really enjoyed them, earlier. But
Mhm.
when next time I'm there, I'll take a bunch of pictures and show you because the portraits are very interesting, and these geographic ones, there's a bunch of them, and they're very interesting as well. The other one, they're just so much, they're just all look like that,
Can you write his name into the chat that
Yes.
I get it right then?
Yeah, I
Thank
can.
Were you
Nice.
ever tempted to do an exhibit of his work?
I
It
think,
looks like there's a lot of quality work.
well, his older work, the colorful shapes that he did with markers, he had a lot of trouble like being neat, and he used these horrible paint markers, and they're not.
Ah,
I don't know. I mean, I would still, I would still show them. They're still.
and these
interesting.
geometric drawings, though, are really beautiful.
Yeah, the geometrics are good, and the portraits, which I didn't appreciate for many years. I just started to really appreciate later on.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if there's anything. I'll put his name in the chat. I don't think there's anything online about him or his work whatsoever. Like, nothing. But he did go to Parsons. I'll put his name in anyway. He did go to Parsons, and it's too
How
bad.
old was he when he went to Parsons? Was he young?
Yeah, because he was drafted, I think it may
I
be.
see. Right.
drafted maybe somewhere around 1920 or something like that. So I think, you know,
Right,
for him at the time.
right.
But I actually do have two pieces of his that he did at Parsons, and they're studies of curtains. And they're really nice. They're really beautiful. They're very old at this point. Um,
Mm.
but
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm.
I wish I had more. I actually think I do have more portraits. I just can't find them. Because I had taken pictures and I had some copies made for my nieces and nephews. So I feel like there should be a few more pictures somewhere if I can find them.
Mhm.
Um, okay. I have some images. I mean, if you want to show a few more, Leslie, go right ahead. But I do have some images that I wanted to share with you guys.
Yeah, it's funny too. I have these other three paintings. I have a bunch of paintings here that I saw at Art Basel besides that young man, who are very
Want to
different.
go through them? If you want to go through them, let's do it.
Yeah, that might be a good thing.
Yeah, just to sort of keep moving
Yeah,
for our viewers at home.
yeah. Let me see. I think one is actually a Francis Bacon picture
Okay.
Ah,
that I fell in love with at the show.
mm.
It's got to be him. It's the only person I could see painting this.
It was Basel in Miami.
Yeah. Um,
What'd you think
Who
of
was
the?
the dealer? Do you remember the gallery or the dealer?
I don't. I
That
just
would
remember asking the price and my husband and I laughing at the price, like just like, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
What did you think of the experience of being at Art Basel?
it was good. It was good. Really, I did really enjoy it, even though I was,
I always enjoy those things. I
yeah,
like art fairs. I think they're fun.
yeah, they are fun.
I mean, there's a lot to dismiss, but there's always treasures to be
Right,
found.
right,
Always. I mean, there's some really good dealers,
yeah,
that haven't.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not a Francis Bacon.
No, not this one. No,
no.
no, this,
No.
not this one. No, no, not that's
This looks
not
like
the,
a this
that's
looks
not.
like a Tom Wesselman, meets, I don't know, some 80s or 90s artist.
This is not
I don't know.
I don't think this is any like well-known or majorly successful painter.
Yeah, I don't think so
I
either.
just,
But
I
it's
just,
fun.
it's fun and I like this
It's
one.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm.
This is the one I
Yeah.
was talking about.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's clearly a Bacon, of
Right.
course. Yeah,
And
yeah.
unfortunately, what ruins it are these reflections in the glass.
That's
But
okay.
Oh.
That's
but
okay.
I love this
Mm.
painting. I just
Yeah,
really like,
totally.
it's a great painting. And
It
I,
is.
and we were like, how much is that painting?
Mm.
And we were like, we'll take one, and it was some
Mhm.
absurd amount. And then the shipping was like, I don't know, the whole thing was cuckoo, but uh, yeah.
Mm.
Whoops, but
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece.
it's a
Yeah,
beautiful paint. I like it.
absolutely.
I like the simplicity of it. I like the color of it.
Yeah, it's
And
gorgeous.
Yeah.
yeah,
He was good.
I mean,
Mm.
how like this is a water fountain, I guess, and how he's painted that with barely any marks.
Mm.
And just the
Mm.
It's
But
the
you know,
rich,
it's a faucet, right? With
yeah, spigot of
it's a
some,
whole world. It's the the painting is well, I don't even know where to begin. I'm struggling here, but I mean, everything is so specific and so reduced and
Mm.
so personal, so specifically his, language, his world, his iconography, the room, just the indications of the room, the figure, the distortion, just the other cues, the limited palette. I mean, it all is part of that, that world that, that's his. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's design. It's also, uh, you know, very painterly, and it's many, many things that are synthesized into, you know, I mean, the abstract marks on that left leg are really curious, whatever that is, whatever those are, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, he was interesting.
It's just so,
Great.
the fact that it's so intimate, as you say, it's so intimate and
Yeah.
centralized, and I don't know. And
Mm.
it
And
also,
that strange squatting figure, that truncated, figure is very strong, you know.
yeah, really strong. Yeah.
It's very, just an interesting depiction of a body.
Yeah.
He's got like a strange
And
cutout.
it's naked, right? No
Yeah.
clothes. So
Yeah.
there's always like some sexual, thing going on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I just wanted to show that too, because
Yeah, it's great.
that was my
That's
favorite thing.
painting.
Yeah, that was my
That's
favorite thing.
that's when it gets good.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm.
I love it. Oh, I like your dog right there. Nice. What a surprise.
Mm.
She's she's young, and she's like, I've had enough. Please take me outside. She's like, I've had enough for the.
Um, let me see if I have,
Sorry.
let me,
Did you have any response to what I sent you last week, or
me?
either one of you? From that show at
We
Garner?
no, we didn't show it.
We didn't look at it last week.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So it
I
could be
have
filler.
it. I do have it.
Okay.
I definitely have it. Yeah.
Well,
Let me see something here. Can you see that?
not
No.
yet.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going to show you. Is everyone, you want to just go somewhere else here? Hold on. Okay. So let me go back here. I'm going to go, there we go. Okay, share. Uh, uh,
Mm. Mhm.
Mm.
so this is an, I was reading a blog. I think it was a political blog, and this painting appeared on the blog.
Mhm.
And it turns out it's this guy, Olaf Rude, Rude,
Mhm.
who is Danish, I discovered. This was painted in 1938.
Mhm.
So I just sort of went, okay, well, I never heard of this guy.
Mhm.
I was reading on my phone, so this image was quite a bit smaller, but I thought it was, kind of interesting,
Mhm.
nice abstract elements, not fussy, little Van Gogh there at the table,
Mm.
sort of, I don't know what, nice still life.
Yeah.
Uh, so I just looked through his work.
Yes.
Ah,
Mhm.
He had some nice little things going on.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
The
Hmm.
30s.
Yeah.
There was a lot of images on the web, on Google,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, and I mean, he's definitely a known artist in Denmark.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
There were not, the images were not, I mean, the quality of the images themselves were not great. I couldn't
Right.
get really sharp you know, but there was something I liked about him. You know, he's almost like a precursor to Per Kirkeby, someone like that, with these big, broad areas, this purple, this, you know, with the green and the, you know, the gestural quality of just laying the paint on. I liked a lot.
Yes.
I like the, you know, the three levels on this painting, the three bands, let's say.
Yeah, that's a bit faint.
Yeah, this was odd. So I couldn't tell what it was on the phone. It would just look like a very grayed out painting.
Ah.
Here's some of the same objects in the first, from the first still life.
Nice.
Very loose, you know, has that a little bit of that Munch looseness.
Yeah.
It's clearly different, you know, different take on modernism, you know, with the geometric, you know, relative to the biomorphic. He does a lot of that. These straight lines in there indicating man, you know, the presence of man, of civilization or something. I don't know.
Some of this reminds me of a little bit of Marshall.
Oh, here's one.
I saw, I think I was looking on my, in my photos because I saw an exhibition with very similar work at the Clark Museum in Massachusetts.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm
I
seeing
love
if
the
I could
Clark.
find that artist. Yeah, I saw an exhibition with a artist looked very similar to this.
Anyway, that was just a very brief little, this, you know, little noticing an artist whose work I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And then this is at Zwerner, David Zwerner right now. Have you seen this show, Hans?
No, but Raoul de Keyser, yeah.
Yeah.
De Keyser, yeah.
It's Raoul de Keyser.
It's a
who's just,
Belgium guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just getting a lot of attention right now.
Yeah.
So I thought we would take a look at this.
He's very influential.
Yeah. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about it.
Raoul de Keyser.
Yes.
Raoul.
Yeah, wonderful. Look nice.
Ah.
I like
I like that very much. Ah. Sort of reminds me of a Diebenkorn taken to the umpteenth level, the previous one.
Yeah, they are very nice, minimalistic also, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And still.
I like this one.
Excerpts of, you know, some shadow or whatever.
This is really quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know how big these are. I haven't seen the show. This looks like one that didn't really happen. You know, it's like either these things work, but I think when he's trying to make them happen, you know, meaning when he's trying to find some sort of completion, resolution, you know, I don't think it always works like this. It seems a little fussy, like I'll try this, layering this, do this, but it doesn't really, for me, it doesn't have a painterly coherence.
This looks a little bit like Olaf Rude trying to
Yeah.
make an abstract painting.
Exactly. Exactly. That's right. That's right. Yeah, this one too gets a little bit cutesy, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
know, he
think,
has a lot of references, you know, he's
yeah,
with, you know, in art. And I mean, here you can see so many things, you know, with this, you know.
Like who in particular?
Yeah, you could even see Hodler or, you know,
Oh, okay.
all this, the movement, you know,
Hmm.
in the 20s, you know.
Oh,
the only thing I like in this painting, I like this. I like the way this mark just hits the edge of the canvas,
yeah.
and then go, I like that. That's to me, that is like a little bit inspirational.
Mm.
Just that line.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
The rest, I don't know, is a little bit
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't work for me.
but
I don't mind that green twiggy thing in front.
Yeah, to me that looks like an Alex Ross
Yeah.
object.
Oh gosh.
You guys have like self-portraits you've done?
Oh.
No. I mean, yeah, from years ago, but not anything recent. This one to me, again, is like, how little can you do, and still it be a painting? It's an exercise in that. I'm not sure that I care about this
Mm.
statement anymore.
mhm,
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like so many artists have done this at this point, like putting a wash on and going, okay, I'm done.
mhm,
I'm
Mm.
not sure if that's enough with the edges. Uh, this is better.
mhm. Well, interesting.
Mm.
I mean, he can come up with these kind of great shapes that are very enigmatic. They're very specific somehow and very enigmatic. They work in some way.
Mm.
This top part doesn't seem to be too consistent with what's going on down here, although I like the color, but
Mhm,
I don't know.
mhm,
I mean, maybe I'm looking at these in the wrong way. I don't know.
mhm,
I think he's trying everything and not editing himself
Yeah.
too much. He's just going, okay, I'll try this. I'll
Yeah.
try placing this object right here on this side of the,
Mm.
with the cut edges here, top and bottom. I don't know. It's like he's playing games. Like, I'll try that. I'll
Mm.
try outlining this one. It's a hole. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe,
But
I don't know either, but it could be also that it's like about shapes, thinking, and then I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He puts maybe two
yeah,
or
yeah.
three things, you know. I'm sure he's very uh,
But
considered, you know.
ah.
I mean, it's interesting, like with a painting like this,
Mm.
But these Belgian
that,
painters, you know, they have sometimes, they have always, all these Belgian new painters, they have a certain way that the painting is always so nice. You know, it's
right.
always,
Yes,
there is also, it's not a sweetness, but it's just,
yes.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
always acceptable.
Oh.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
It's
not
never something
it's
which you
not
think, right? Yeah, you know.
it's not obtrusive or aggressive.
No, no.
Like
It's always
like it might,
Hmm.
yeah,
it's
it
yeah,
doesn't
easy to
shout too
digest.
loudly.
Yeah, it's
It's
easy
always
to
polite. It's
it's e-
polite.
exactly. Yeah, easy to digest. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there might be some like, quirky, radical-ish ideas, but it's
Ah.
always done very politely.
Yeah.
Hmm. Very.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is well, we can connect with this. Again,
Yeah.
Per Kirkeby, this to make sense to us as painters. It's painterly. And there's some guts, some body in this. This I like, actually,
Yeah.
having said that. And I like the way the bottom is just, kind of painted out and whatever, and who cares? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
This is a good painting.
Yeah.
You see, but the funny thing is that he'll never do this again, this approach. It's like he wants to have access to every other possibility, of painting. Like he won't pursue. I mean, he may not like this painting for all I know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, once he does, when he does have a certain idea, as it were, or or that the painting appears to have a certain kind of idea or coherence, he doesn't repeat it. He'll just do something else, like, let's see, what's next? See, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, this is one of those paintings where, okay, I've seen this a million times.
Yeah.
People do this.
But maybe that's what you just said is maybe just his way to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why you basically then recognize him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, but you would not necessarily, if you saw this painting in isolation, you would not necessarily know it was his painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, but because we are maybe not so familiar right now, but I think I mean, he shows a lot, he's all over the world, the way,
Really?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
absolutely.
And the work is like this? The work
Yes.
similar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
This is it.
Yeah,
This is the work.
Yeah,
This is it.
but
No,
you
I mean,
probably
all over
still
the world
say,
is
this
still-
must be a De Keyser, you would, you understand? I mean, there is Juan Usle, there are many other people which you immediately recognize in a way.
Right.
Even it's, as you said, this is maybe a unique thing. It's not out of a series, we don't know. I don't know, maybe he made more than this,
Yeah.
but he won't show them in a show, because that's maybe in another museum, the other piece, which is a little bit
Yeah.
because they look how they present the work, Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we don't see, that we don't think, oh, this is. I'm sure he made more of one of those, but they are not in the show,
Right. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, how he wants to have things presented.
Right.
It's a concept,
Yeah.
that you have this variety, as Mark says.
Right. Right.
It doesn't mean that he has not maybe 20 or 50 of those things.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
We don't know. I don't know him, that well. But it's very, I mean, they are good, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mhm.
It's good to see them. Yeah, it's nice. And I think they are also nice to physically to look at,
Yeah, I think you're right. They are.
It's about material, and you feel the paint. It's not just the image itself. It is,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why.
an object.
That's what I.
a bit, and
Yes. That's what I really like about him. He's dealing with all, very painterly elements, visually painterly. He's not trying to do anything that's outside of the immediate kind of abstract elemental range of painting. And I really appreciate that.
But then you see,
He's a painter. He's absolutely a painter. This couldn't be anything but a painting. That's what I like about it.
But you see this little red line there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it works very well, but you can do it really
Yeah.
badly, and
Huh.
maybe he did also bad red things, and then you know he makes something else out of it.
Yeah,
But you,
totally.
you know, what I'm saying? It's but
Yeah.
it works here, you know.
Yeah.
it's yes, yeah, yeah.
Like it's funny. Like this one, where's my cursor?
Yeah,
There it is. Like this, just goes completely off,
mhm.
right?
Right, yeah, yeah.
But this one,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, this one
Yeah,
has
yeah.
a line,
I mean,
as
there
do
is
these.
that it's already something humorous almost in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's, it's fun. That's a good one. That's a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
fun.
This is
It's
floating.
simple, you know. It's
Hmm.
yeah.
And they're very rudimentary,
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
Yeah.
it's like
And
he's
that's
not
yeah.
he's not bringing any, awesome skill
Mhm.
to this endeavor, like Salvador Dali, let's say. It's like it's more conceptual. He's just doing it.
Yeah. Some of it looks like student work, you know, because of that.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
looks figural, right? Doesn't this look figural?
Like
Can't-
a literal figure.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't help
mean-
but
You mean
closing the
because of
black
this? Because of
lines.
that belly button, you mean?
Well, also the top is ears and a nose, and
Oh, okay. Okay.
it just has a.
Yeah.
You want to close the spaces.
Right, right. Yeah, could be. Could be.
Maybe because the lines are
Yeah.
so black.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I think they are ideas also which materialize, and there is an information for him or whatever,
Yeah.
which he doesn't want to go further because he's losing then actually the original impulse or whatever, you know. And
Right.
you know, so you
Yeah.
know, you can
Yeah, I
do
think you can see it. You sort of can see it as painting as being part of this large cultural package of ideas,
Mm.
and he's just kind of, dabbling or drinking at that, at the edge, let's say, of that sea of Western cultural visual information.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And
right,
he's dipping his brush into that ocean
right. You can
of
see it
ideas.
or a part of a DNA information, or you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
You can see also children jumping on those things when they have to, you know, on
Yeah.
the board, jumping, and then and then makes marks. Maybe I don't know.
On this one specifically.
Yeah, there is
Children
a lot
jumping?
of things going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
of course, you could say, oh, these lines are so also so unprecise, and this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it works somehow, and then
This is funny because we're becoming much more positive about what we're seeing. The more we're
Yeah.
seeing it.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you understand suddenly his language. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
think,
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's
There is
right.
There
Yeah.
is a language.
That's it.
The language.
Yes.
Interesting.
This one, for me, is already too painterly. It's too well done. This
Ah,
one is, you know what I mean? This one
Yeah,
is, I don't know.
I keep talking. I didn't realize I was muted and I keep making comments. It's funny.
Oh, that
Oh, we don't hear you. We didn't hear you.
No, I was wondering what happened. I thought you left.
Just give us your best comment. What was your best
No, I
comment
was,
that we missed?
oh, no, I was commenting on the black and white one. And I was commenting on the blue one. The blue one I really like. This one, Yeah, for some reason, I really like this one.
Yeah.
Why? What do you like about it?
There's just something, there's some kind of the white, the way that he has the white markings. I find it's almost like musical or or
Mm,
lyrical or
yeah.
Yeah.
something about the way he has the white lines, and I like the colors used. The red line is very curious, of course, but
Yeah.
just works for me. How
Yeah.
big is
Yeah.
this? Is this big?
Me too.
I don't know how, I think they're big, right?
Yeah.
They're probably like 4 by 5 feet or something,
Yeah.
or maybe more, 5 by 6,
But that
5 by
Yeah.
7.
also
I
feels
mean, to me,
smaller,
it's
right?
kind of genius to like just do this and be brave enough to say, "Here's my painting." You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
The gray is also,
Yeah, the
you know,
gray.
uh,
Yeah.
is somehow unexpected, is somehow
Right.
counterintuitive. To
Right.
throw that gray in there is nice.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Yeah. And the next one, the black and white one, I just don't. Well, there's the ones with the circles, which are okay, but this one I don't really. Yeah, I mean, these are kind of fun too, and somehow create space without creating space. This one to me, Barbara was saying figurative. Looks to me if you connected the lines, it'd be a laying down dog or something. But
Yeah.
I don't really care for this one for some reason. It doesn't do
I don't
much.
either. I
No.
don't really either.
Yeah.
To
No.
me, this one is in a strange way overdone too. I mean, relative, next to that
Right.
and
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
this one seems a little fussy. I don't know what, painting
Yeah.
the background. This looks like a background. The blue here and the
And
blue
even the
here.
composition, I don't even care for
And
the
even
composition.
and even using a straight line. Like he
Yeah.
obviously put that in with a ruler of some
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
don't like that
doesn't.
straight line at all.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I don't care for this one so much at
No,
all.
I don't
No.
either. No.
This one is too beautiful for me after all these other works. This one is too sensuous. It's painted nicely. The edges are blurred perfectly of the figure ground. The red is too delicious and hot. To me, it's just, it's too much.
I don't know. This doesn't do a lot for me. I don't know why. It just
No,
doesn't.
this is the same one. It's a detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't understand. I guess whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it's not.
I don't care for that one either. This one I don't
No.
mind. This one's kind of interesting.
You know what I like about this? I like how these lines curve. Like,
Yeah.
they're so imperfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you expect these to be straight
Yeah.
and, but they sort of curve and do awkward things. And
Yeah.
I sort of like that.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good one.
Yeah, this one, I kind of like how he's made these spaces without forcing space, it's like,
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Huh.
This is good too. I like it.
Oh,
I'm gonna stop
It's like
trying too hard.
these two figures, although different, have something in common in
yeah.
that the lines, they're not complete. They have that weird little thing where they don't come together.
Yeah.
So they're somehow alike, but very dissimilar.
Yeah.
They're two individuals in a set,
Mm.
and this one's, yeah, I mean, they're funny. So they're provocative in some way.
Yeah. Mm.
I think if I spent a lot of money on this painting, I would regret it down the line.
Yeah.
I share that sentiment very much, Mark.
Oh God.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, well,
Oh,
yeah, you should buy this painting. This artist is really important, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how much? Well, a couple of hundred, $250,000, let's say, right? I don't know. I think I'd regret it
sure.
unless I just had so much money I didn't care.
I keep trying to fit a swastika in there. So, I mean, it just is very repugnant.
Oh, I don't see that. Why
I
is
don't
that a
see-
swastika?
I don't see that
Honest-
either, but I certainly don't like it.
No, but you can see it, half of it. Yeah.
You can, right? It fits
Yeah,
in.
I guess
Not
you
as
can.
obvious. It's certainly not as obvious as Elon Musk
Yeah,
raising his.
right.
It's not that obvious.
Right.
At least this guy has a little restraint,
Mhm.
I think these are his best works, the ones that are,
Yeah.
fall into this
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, these
paradigm.
fragments.
Yeah,
Fragments.
of marks and things, and
Yeah.
it
I'd
just
like to
seems to
see
me.
a bunch of those together, a grouping of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, you would lose that, conceptual element that we were talking about earlier, where, he can go from thing to thing, which is part of the, what's interesting.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like you'd miss out on this wonderful painting.
oh yes. I could miss out on this one easily.
Me too. Me too. I know there's a line, there's a fine line here. And he's obviously playing with that fine line. But between, a painting that, because of its economy really does something, and then paintings that clearly, I don't know, maybe, I don't think so.
Yeah, but there is always a little tricky thing, let's
Yeah,
say
I don't like
it's on
that.
the upper left corner.
I don't like that at all.
Which has suddenly another thing. The other one was the same with the red one, which you don't like. There is one shape which is different, and that's actually
On this one?
You see, that's the shape there, which looks like
Oh yeah.
This one?
an aeroplane or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That everything is almost similar, but then there is this shape which is different.
Mhm.
So there is
Hmm.
a little play going on, which I don't think it's very interesting.
No.
but there is
There.
There was an artist who, the New York art, I'm spacing out on his name, Hans. He had a studio on the Lower East Side. He was handled by Pace, I believe, at the same times that James Sienna was picked up by Pace.
Yes.
He had a Polish last name, and he did these beautiful kind of graphic paintings that always had some little twist going on, some little weird, unexpected anomaly. Do you remember who I'm talking about? His last name was Kowalski or Kazazinski or.
Wow.
Do you remember him?
No,
He was so good, and he did that, but he did it, with complete transparency.
Yes.
He just said, "This is what I'm doing," as
Right.
opposed to being subtle about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I'm trying to think. I'm going to see if I can find,
Yeah.
because he's another artist that we should look at. That's great.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe if you go to paste and look at the artist names, let me do that. Let me see if I can find him.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, they have so many artists. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's just too many artists to go through here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny.
Darn. Terrell.
Yeah, we find out.
Wait, I'll get it. Hold on, I'm gonna get there. I think maybe it was it.
Oh goodness.
Thomas Nozkowski. Thomas Nozkowski.
Remember that name?
Do you remember him, Hans?
Yes, I do.
Somehow, yeah.
let's go. We're going to get off of this, okay?
Yeah,
And
Yes.
let me
very
do
impressive.
this.
Yeah.
Let's
But just to say, I think the Kaiser is very,
I
conceptual,
agree.
a
No,
conceptual,
it's very good. He's
Mm.
very good.
conceptual art.
Mm.
Even
Okay,
it doesn't
so
look
let
like.
me share this with you. Hold on.
Do you
Oh,
think
here.
people are buying him because of his conceptual orientation, or are they buying him because he's popular?
Yeah, he's
They're
I think he's all over the world, in all collections.
Yeah. The reason why, Barbara, is
High
because
priced artist. Yeah.
the reason why is because he is embodying some conceptual approach, but to
Mm.
pure painting that is, that is the result, that is, where painting is. In other words, he's exploring an area of painting that
Mm.
happens to be pertinent right now,
Yeah.
in this given about, and he's talking about painting. So he's notable because it's a very clear and
Mm.
pure idea about how to pursue, how to be a painter today, right?
Yeah,
And I'm
and he's also an old generation. He died with 2012,
Ah.
and he was born 1930. He's very,
Ah.
he's a
Mm.
influential artist for the whole
Yeah.
Belgium new painter generation also.
Yes. Yes.
let me stop this share. Okay. And I'm going to share this. Whoops. Wow, sorry. I just hit the wrong
I
thing.
like it.
Yeah.
The longer I look at it,
Wait, let's try this. Hold on.
Mm.
Uh, let me go here.
Mm.
Okay, now I'm going to go back to there and go share. Okay, here we go. So this is Nozkowski. So
Ah.
here,
yeah.
for example,
Mm.
so his works are just purely, beautiful to look at, right? He makes no,
Mm.
but he's playing games, in that sense, although, he's not a conceptual artist at all.
Yeah.
It's really
And
just about, hold on, let me,
he makes it's also like more like humorous, or I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah, there's an
I
element of
remember
humor
that.
in
Yeah.
these. Let me see if I,
Ah.
uh, let me see.
Mm.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Ah.
The abstract reality. 24, 94. Yeah.
So he's doing two anomalous things here. It isn't Paul Klee, it's not Raoul de Keyser, but there's elements of both,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I see that.
it's very aesthetic. It's very beautiful. They're always beautiful,
Ah. Yeah.
but good, smart. I mean,
And
great
it's
colors.
great how he puts it everything on the lower corner,
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
there is
Yeah,
a certain
exactly.
humorous touch to it.
Absolutely. Right.
It's fun.
Right.
I like it.
Mm.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, that's not his.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Oops,
Sorry about that.
Yeah, don't worry. But we
Sorry
can check
about that
that out.
image.
Yeah, that's it. We can check that out, by ourselves. And it's really
Mm.
nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Mm. Look at
So,
these. Interesting.
like here,
Yeah,
this,
I
Oh
like
gosh, it's mm.
uh
oh, this is from the Brooklyn Rail.
I see.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he was very low key, you know, very
Yeah,
unpretentious, and
Mm,
yeah.
I don't see
Yeah.
any. Oh, there we go.
Mhm, mhm.
oh,
Oh, that's fun.
yeah.
But
That's-
it reminds, I mean, there is could be
Sure.
from 1920, you know, Alpha, you know, the Swedish painter woman. Do you remember? We had a show at the Met. Uh,
Oh yeah. Hilma de
you
Oh.
know,
Oh, yeah,
there's
yeah.
many.
Hilma Flint?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clip.
Isn't it?
yeah,
Hilma,
exactly.
yeah, Hilma.
Oh, I don't see that
Oh,
particularly, but
I see sort
I mean,
of,
it's
well, Jean Arp.
yeah. Jean Arc would be a good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah, but maybe Hilma also, I don't know.
Mm.
She came first.
Yeah, just some forms, you know, they so it's so
I like her work.
yeah.
Here, look
Yeah.
at this one.
Isn't it great?
Mhm.
I love her work too. Did you see the Guggenheim show?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought.
Yeah,
Loved it.
yeah, me too.
No, I think that we had a full menu today. I will have to say.
Look at that.
Huh?
Yes.
We did accomplished a lot looking
That's
at all
also
of them.
good. Yeah, yeah,
Oops,
that's
these
also
are-
fun.
So
Pictures.
he can go. You see, he can go from one thing to the other too, but
Yeah.
still, it's more
Yeah.
graphic. Or
Yeah,
but he plays with juxtapositions that
Yes,
are,
yes.
yeah.
you know, the same idea,
But-
Ah,
but it's more graphic. It's
But
more.
there's also a
Uh,
language. You know, the
He
more
has what?
you a language, there is a language.
Yeah, it's a language.
which
Yeah.
you would also recognize immediately, you know,
Yes.
since you
Yeah.
would immediately say, oh, that must be him, you know. Looks like,
must be a Nozkowski.
yeah.
Hmm.
He's very
Yeah.
playful. He's
Great.
he's good. He's very good. Anyway, very different than Raoul de
Yes, that's
Keyser.
wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a lot of
here's-
things to digest.
Oh, look at that. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I think we should say goodbye to our viewers on YouTube.
Okay, let's do that.
Yes.
So
And I see you next week then.
let's say goodbye. Thank you for joining us. And we thank our members for showing up. You know, so we're a small group, but we had fun.
We did. Thank you very much, everybody, for today.
Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of
Let
fun.
me